Hello, beautiful soul. Today we're going to be talking about what I have learned channeling. Now, hopefully, this video will inspire you to really level up your channel game in terms of how you use your attention and energy in your everyday life to practically improve every aspect of it. So, I'm excited. Let's just get into it. You already know a parrot. So, all right, let's go. So the first thing I wanted to say is that everybody channels. That's the first thing I learned. Every single person channels. As humans, God gave us this ability to channel. What does this mean? Well, I see channeling as understanding that we are like batteries. We have energy. We have a negative and a positive pole. We can use our energy to communicate and connect to other forces, some seen and unseen. That's a great thing. We're a bridge, an energetic bridge to the physical and the non-physical. And we can utilize this within our everyday lives to better navigate. I have been exploring channeling for now the past, I guess, consciously the past, I want to say 3 years. Yeah. And with that being said, I have had experiences with my channel way before then, but I wasn't really conscious of what I was doing. As a kid, I had a very vivid imagination and I would communicate to beings all the time. Sometimes I would even channel their energy, though I was just really embodying whoever I wanted to be and am playing pretend and never really called it that. So you've probably already channeled. And that's the first thing that I've learned. We all are natural channelers. So channeling is not something inherently evil or bad in any way. It is just a form of connecting with the unseen, communicating with it as we bring it into the seen in terms of being able to perceive it with our senses, our conscious mind. So channeling is something that we all do. The second thing is I have learned a lot about using my own channel, and just like a radio channel that you can change the channels or the stations, you can do the same thing in your mind. It does take practice. You most likely have to meditate to some capacity in order to gain an understanding and control of your mind and clear out the internal chatter and dialogue and distractions that tend to be there if you haven't sorted through, or you don't usually maintain your mind in such a way, which you totally should, and you should check out Mindset Monday, anyways. So with that being said, once I cleared out all of the external and internal chatter in my mind, and I was able to focus whenever I wanted to and tap into the mental realm of what my thoughts were doing, what I was thinking about, the internal dialogue that was happening there, I could then more consciously choose what I wanted to tap into. What kind of thoughts did I want to have? Who do I want to connect and communicate with? What kind of dialogue do I want to have with this being? And then this realm of imagination really helped open up the channels to make it so clear that your mind, just like a radio, you can change the channels. You are not just stuck on one, but there are infinite ones out there, though it is worth noting why are you on the channel that you're on, and get as much information from it as possible, as it will most likely help you the best on your life mission. The next thing I've learned about channeling is that there are lots of different kinds of channels. There are, and not just YouTube channels or video channels or cable channels, although those are all examples of understanding our own channel and how we channel energy and perceive it and bring it through. There are different people that bring forth different channels, just like on the TV and the cable and the radio. People can bring different channels. They're attuned to this frequency, and so it's easier for them to pick up, perceive, and bring into this world. Some people do this through art. They can get into a beautiful flow state and they create amazing pieces where they don't even understand the process. It was just brought to them and their body knew what to do, and they just followed through and they created something amazing that totally speaks to many people on many different levels. This also happens with any kind of creative work, writing, science, are like architecture. You look at the pyramid. There's so many different forms of channeling and how that energy has been used to create this world. Now, the way I understand channeling and what I think has helped me throughout the time of channeling, especially with more of a religious background and really wanting to use discernment for whatever I do, is realizing that God is the master, the greatest of all dimensions. And the greatest of all dimensions understands infinite potentials and possibilities beyond our comprehension, and is also the one that has created all of the different channels. Now, they are all connected to this oneness source, but there are different aspects and they have different purposes. Some of them may be viewed as positive and some of them may be viewed as negative, but all of them are still connected and under the authority of God, or the oneness source creator of all life. So that's how I see it, and I think that's helped me a lot with being able to feel comfy channeling, because one thing I will note is that there are certain beings that are just waiting for anybody who has fear and wants to channel, and then that fear is what they channel, and they end up inviting these beings in without really understanding or realizing what they've done. So by directing this energy and the fear and all of that scary stuff to God, we can give it into His hands and allow Him to direct and to tune us to the channel that will best suit us for the situations we face in life. So that's something that I've also learned, and has really helped me to surrender and just be a better channel, where I'm not worried so much about, am I doing this? Am I connected to the right beings? But I can trust and know that, yes, the greatest of all dimensions, which knows all infinite possibilities out there, is directing my channel. Therefore, I can trust that it is on the highest divine timeline, and it's great. So that's a big thing that I've learned. And if you haven't taken anything else from this video at this point, then please go back, watch that last bit for the last 2 minutes or so, and listen to it again. Because yes, it will save you a lot of fear and time and unpleasant interactions with other beings. Okay. So what I've also learned about channeling is that it's important for you to surrender and not have any expectations. You can't just sit down and say, I'm going to channel my greatest book of the year and it's going to be a bestseller. Yes, that's absolutely a potential and a possibility, but once you set such rigid expectations on your session or what you want to channel, you may have ideas of how that should come through, and that could potentially block what you actually want to come through just because it doesn't look the way that you expected. So dropping those expectations when you channel and allowing yourself to surrender and trust in the greatest of all dimensions to lead your ways has really helped me again when I channel. The next thing I've learned when I channel is that when you are in a group, it is very interesting. I find that a lot of the times everybody is channeling, and it's easy to think and to ignore what people are saying, or think that what you're gonna say is gonna be better than them or something like that. I don't know, but what they're saying is as important as what you're saying, because they're also channeling. They're also coming from the greatest of all dimensions. They're also connected to this one universal life source. And so when you listen to what they have to say, regardless if it makes any sense, if you actually have the intention to listen to others, outside information, external stimulus, with the intention to receive and see it as a channel that is directly communicating to you, what they say will apply to you in ways you can only imagine right now. And it's like they're directly talking to you, even if you're in a room with 100 people, 1,000 people, whatever, you're watching a video. If you have that intention, I mean, it happens all the time. Really allowing yourself to selectively take, because when you're in a channel, you're really just selectively taking the pieces and rearranging them in the frequency that best resonates with you. That's exactly what you're doing. The next thing I've learned about channeling is to practice discernment and to not take it too seriously, but also not too silly, okay? What I mean by that is that I'm not gonna just channel for no reason to show off or because I'm bored. I don't think that's a proper way to use this energy, and it could lead to just more problems. So, having discernment and knowing when to channel, when is a good time, and having a clear intention so that you know what should be and what shouldn't be, and have that discernment is so important. Just playing around and opening your being up to this energy again, it can be a very dangerous game. So you want to make sure that you have clear intentions. It's just like when you go on an airplane, and if you're flying it, you can't just fly willy-nilly until you run out of fuel on some desert island. You have to have a clear coordinate of where you're going and how you're going to get there so that you don't get distracted and you're using your energy and time wisely. The next thing I've learned about channeling is the physical sensations some feel when they channel. Now, these can mean different things for different people. And just like how somebody may hear the same channeled message and get a totally different message from it, when you have certain sensations in your body, I will say that it is important that you listen to them, but don't pay too much attention to them. Mostly because you must realize that you are a human having a temporary experience right now, and that there's so much more that goes beyond just this experience. If you are too focused on the physical in any way, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm feeling one thing or I'm feeling the other, and you start hyper fixating on it, now you're channeling your energy to your body in ways that you don't want to actually manifest. So it's important for you to observe these things, acknowledge them, and then if you have any fear, direct that up to God, the greatest of all dimensions, the creator, oneness, source of all life, and trust that everything happens for a reason. Respect your body, respect the beings that you're connecting to, respect the energy that you're wanting to tap into. Now, here's some fun stuff I've learned about channeling, but right now I wanted to just say that if you're curious and you want to learn more about channeling, or you'd like some support, like a support system while you're learning and exploring this modality for yourself, then the Light Resonance Portal is for you. Not only do we go over light language, which is a form of channeling, but we also have a literal channeling 101 workshop as a bonus in that membership portal. So it's pretty awesome. Check the link out in the bottom description down below if you're interested. And let's get on to some of the fun stuff that I have used channeling for. Okay, well, one of my favorite ways to use channeling is actually to not only come up with business ideas, which in the past I came up with a business idea in about a week and I delivered it to judges for a competition and I ended up winning. And this was something mildly like surprising because I didn't even really know how to structure business plan that well at that time, but I really tapped into this energy of what can I do and how can I channel through the best outcome. And that's what came through, and it ended up winning me a full ride scholarship. So that was pretty cool. So I've also used channeling for a lot of my work in terms of creative work. I love just allowing myself to choose certain colors and just think of a certain frequency in my mind or a certain person if I'm doing an energy portrait for them, and then I'll channel through what comes. As you know, if you've ever seen any of my picket card readings, I pretty much channel all of those cards. They're all channeled messages and paintings. So quite literally, all of these are just channeled pieces, and they all have different meanings. And of course, even the messages on the back are channeled poems. So I've been doing this for a while and I have lots of different ones, and you can interpret them in lots of ways depending on the energy that you're channeling during the time of the reading. So that's why I think that it's pretty cool. Now, of course, we also channel, like when you play pretend, you're pretty much channeling. When I'm dealing with imposter syndrome, actually channeling the beings that I looked up to in the industry help me realize that I can do this and then think, what can I do? The saying, what would Jesus do, is you tapping into channeling the energy of Jesus. So there are lots of different ways that we channel again. Sometimes, and right now, I'm dealing with channeling through a new identity after I identified some of the struggles I was having currently. And knowing that if I can identify those struggles and I can channel a being that has already gone through those struggles, so subconsciously I'm going in my mind and I'm taking that eternal, that possibility that is in the infinite possibilities of reality, and I can loop it and I can connect it to my reality by simply realizing that there is a being out there, there is energy out there in this realm of infinite possibilities where I have already solved any problem that I've ever had. And all I need to do is take time to acknowledge this and breathe into that and actively channel that energy through. This could be a form of meditation, writing, singing, expressive dance and movement. There's lots of different ways that you can choose to channel, and it really does depend on what your intention is, who you are, and how you best receive energy and interpret it in the physical world. So I really do hope that this video will help you on your journey and hopefully clear any misunderstandings or any fear that you have surrounding channeling, and help you level up your channeling to the next, because there is an amazing being within you which is already showing through and wants to come out more. So tap into and ask yourself, what does that look like, and how can you bring it through in the world even more? Thank you so much for watching. You can press a thumbs up if you like this video and you'd like more like so. And without further ado, check out the Light Resonance portal. The link is down below, and we would love to have you a part of the Light members. We love it there. The Light Resonance residents are amazing souls, and it's just a great, beautiful just space. We have our monthly integration calls, so hop on, ask questions, explore, and most importantly, use your channel wisely to make this world a better place. That's Esther Joy. I'm out here trying to talk about love, light, joy, and peace, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Namaste.